Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tori and today we are working in my October Daily 2024 album on stories number 15 and 16. Now, the stories that I will be telling for these two story numbers they kind of overlap, but I wanted to separate them. So one of my friends and I both took our kids to Georgia a couple weekends ago. And the main purpose of the trip was for us to go there to see the Beauty and the Beast play that was playing. So I have what is this thing called? I have the playbill. Oh goodness. And some photos. In this video, I will not be documenting all of the photos that we took, especially those at the play, because there were other children, other people involved, and I don't necessarily want to put their faces on the internet without, so I'm just going to not put those photos in on camera, but I will kind of set up the pages for some of these photos. Now, this middle page here is the only one that actually has like the information for the cast and the production team, and everything else in here is just like ads and sponsored things, and I don't really care about all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this book open. I'm going to take these staples out. I'm going to keep the cast and production team pages, and I'm only going to keep like one or two of these other pages, and then I'm going to cover them with patterned paper. I'm going to sew it back together, cover the pages with patterned paper, and maybe some of these little journaling cards that I have, because it does match this patterned paper, and kind of create like a little mini album within my album to document the first play that we ever have gone to, that I've ever taken my kids to. And I think that'll be super fun. So that one, that's going to be story 16. And this video might be a bit longer because of that whole process. So that's going to be this stuff over here. And then I am going to be documenting on the back of story number 14. Obviously we were in Georgia, so I have like this really good picture that I took of myself, like my hair. I loved the way that it looked, so I took a selfie and I really like it. And then just a couple of photos that I took while we were up there of like our surroundings, a drink that I had. I tried some pumpkin flavored ice cream from an ice cream shop, and it was so good, so I've got that in here. And then just a picture of my feet as we were walking around in downtown Savannah. And I just wanted to like have a little page to just document going to Georgia, but like document myself. Since this album, this like little mini album over here, will be primarily about the kids, I am going to make this little page just about me and my thoughts for Georgia. And I've got like this little card back here that I will create a little hidden journaling pocket and put that in there like that. Since these since these patterned papers do not cover a full 7 inches, I'm going to I'll probably do a little bit of a ripped edge on one of these where they're overlapping, just to cover up that missing piece over here and to kind of add a little bit of extra sturdiness to this premium matte presentation paper from Epson, because it is not that thick. So this will help thicken up story number 14 as well. So there's a lot going on today. I've got quite a bit here to do. I have a little bit of a sticky note where I had put like the Beauty and the Beast play. I'm going to be taking that apart and sewing it back together, going to Georgia. So this is going to live once everything is said and done in this little pocket here. And then I think I will just add a piece of patterned paper on the back side of it. And then I will slide this in and out. That way, when we flip it over, and then this is just going to be like a little filler page for the next spread. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. There is quite a lot to do for these two particular spreads. So I'm going to get myself a little bit straightened up here, and then I'm just going to jump right in. This one, I feel like these two spreads are going to need a lot of focus, so I don't know if I'll be talking too much while I'm actually working, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to start with this one because this is going to be the easiest, obviously, since it's really just all about me and my thoughts and feelings and opinions and stuff like that. So I'm going to just rip this paper here because I love a ripped edge. And then get this adhered down. I will trim this down a little bit too so that we can save some of that paper. Still not sure where my tape runner is. I swear I think my kids took it. But I'm just going to continue to use this Sukwang score tape. I don't know if I said that correctly. So I apologize if I didn't. Oh no. No, 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 no. Okay. I think that should be fine. I always like to add tape into the middle as well because I don't like it to feel like there's like weird air bubbles behind my patterned paper. So I know I do that a lot in my videos. So if you see me doing that and you ever wonder why, it's for that exact reason. I don't want there to feel like there's air bubbles behind my stuff. Okay, so I got my paper done there. That looks and feels more sturdy, so excellent. That's exactly what I wanted to happen there. And then these I'm going to just layer one on top of the other. My little kind of mini photo strip that I have here, I'm going to just layer it right over top of my little selfie that I took. And then this one, before I adhere that down, I'm just going to make sure that this only goes down as far as I want it to go down. So I'm going to probably paste a portion of my tape just about right here, I think. Because I will probably also add a little tab, and I also don't normally push my tags in all the way, but I love that little bit of a black and white line that you can see behind there. No, 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 no. Well, I'm gonna need to reprint this now. You can see I just ripped off most of my photo there, so that's not gonna work. This tape is so strong. So I'm just gonna add the tape here and then reprint my little photo strip. It's getting quite frustrating that this just keeps sticking to everything. I don't think I've ever had this much of a problem with it doing that. I'm gonna just punch my holes in here now so I can make sure that I'm not laying my photos or anything on top of the holes. Okay, so I got my new photo, just trimmed it out. This ended up being like 1.5 inches. I think this is a little bit bigger than the first one, but I like that I can see the photos a little bit better. This white side is just a little bit longer than the other side, so I'm going to trim that just a touch more. And then we'll just layer that just like that. So I think I'm going to use my Stanley Alpha from Carrie Bradford's studio to type out Savannah. I think that will fit, hopefully. And if I can fit it, I'll do Savannah GA. So that fit out perfectly. So that's what this one is looking like. I just need to figure out where I'm going to put my story number. I'm gonna grab these tab stickers from Ellie Edwards and just add a little tab to the top here. That way it'll make this a little bit easier to pull in and out. And then that will be story number 15. And then I will just add my journaling to this little card behind my photo, probably at a later time. I'm not going to do it in this particular video. And then we will kind of move right along to story number 16. Okay, so for story number 16, like I said, I want to pull out these staples because I'm going to separate this whole book and kind of make it into like a little traveler's notebook type situation, which I'm hoping is going to look as great as I'm hoping. So I do want to keep, I do want to keep this, the cast and production team, but I do not need all of these like ads and stuff. So I'm going to take some of these out. We took quite a bit of photos. So let's see. Group photo, before, group photo, team, cast. I think this will be sufficient. Yeah, I think this will be a sufficient amount of pages. So I have some of these pages left, all of these pages left specifically from the Citrus Twist kit and this little cutoff that I just did. And I'm going to just use them all for this thing here. I don't know how big this is. So about 5.5 maybe to trim that down to. So like as an example, I'm just gonna cover each up. I'm gonna do 5.25, I think. I don't want to get too close to the center because I'm going to sew this back together. So I think 5.25 will be perfect. So I'm going to trim all of these down to 5.25 wide. So I've got this, all of these 5.25, and I might be able to just do like some strips with these leftover ones, potentially to fill up another page. So I'm just going to set those aside. So we'll have kind of like that. Flip it again. We'll have another and another. Flip it again. Flip it again. This. So I've got enough pages with that I would just need 2 pieces of paper to make up the difference. And maybe I will do that with this. This isn't paper necessarily. This is packaging from the order I just placed with Shahin Designs. And I wanted to use it, so this might actually be quite a good way to get it used. And maybe I'll place it on the first and the last page of the album. That way it's in both places, because I've got a little bit more of this than I do of the patterned paper. Oh yeah, I like that as a good ending page, and it'll be a good start page too. I truly do not want to use this freaking tape because I've already had so many issues with it, and some of this paper particularly is so delicate. If I even just pray for me, because I'm gonna need it. I have absolutely no idea where my tape runner is. I just searched all of the kids' rooms, and I don't know. I always see people do like one at a time of these, but I find that whenever I try to do that, it always gives me more problems than helping me. So I normally just do it all at once. And I think I even tried, it could have been in this video or one of the other videos that I've been filming today. Who knows, but I even tried to do it like that and had so many issues. We're going to be going to Michael's here soon though, because my son asked for crafty stuff for his birthday. Some of the crafty stuff that I like to use he asked for, so we can get some fairly decently priced stuff at Michael's. So my husband and I, while they're over at my in-laws, the kids, we're gonna go to the store and just put together a little crafty present for him. And while I'm there, I'm gonna have to grab a tape runner, and then, and only then, is probably when I will find the one that I actually am looking for, but at least I'll have a backup. I generally try to keep a backup on hand, but my daughter has been wanting to use tape a lot lately, so she used all of my like Michael's tape runner. I am going to try very hard not to stress about these not being perfectly positioned, because that's not going to bode well with this whole thing and me applying the tape the way that I am. So I've got my first and my last page as that packaging paper, and I am just pressing each of these with my bone folder to kind of solidify that crease, because I think it'll help it lay a little bit flatter in my album. So let's see. These papers are all a little bit thicker than that other one though, so it should be a little bit easier to get those kind of ready to be on the page. Which I think I should start with orange. maybe blue. I don't want the blues to be right next to each other. So I'm going to start with the blue on here. This is the first time I've ever tried to do something like this in one of my daily documenting projects. And I'm sure that you can tell from the way that this part of the video is going. Like, the first part of the video came together so quickly, and I didn't have too many issues other than the tape ripping up my photo and needing to reprint. But this one, I feel like I'm just all over the place. I probably won't do the final sewing of this on camera today. But what I'm going to do is, after I've got all of the pages kind of prepped, because like I said, I've got some photos that I don't really want to share with the whole internet. Once I've got my pages prepped for the photos to be applied, I'll just take it over to my sewing machine and I'll just do a straight stitch right down the middle of the paper. So it's not going to be super, it's not going to be like a crazy stitch or anything like that. But since I've got some thicker paper in here now, and I'll have photos in here, and I don't have like a long arm stapler, it will keep the booklet together. I think maybe these two on these pages. I would love to know down in the comments below if you have been doing any fun activities for October. We have done quite a few things. Surprisingly, most of them taking place in like the last week. So I've got like the next like 7 stories like prepped with photos and stuff. I've got a pumpkin patch story that I will be doing. I've also got a read or treat story that I will be doing that we went to at the kids' school. And then the pumpkin patch story I know is going to take up several pages. I'm going to do 2 full-page photos for that one, and then like a little mini insert in between the full-page photos. So that one will be fun when I get to that one. I will say, oh, these look good together. I like that. I am liking how this is coming together. So, even though I'm just repetitively complaining about the tape that I'm using, I am liking everything so far. I've also got school photos that I ended up getting this month. The kids had their school pictures taken in October, and I just recently received those. I actually ordered the digital version of them so I could print whatever sizes I want and give to whoever I needed to give them to. So I'm going to be telling a story about that. I printed out one of each of the kids, and I'm just going to do a quick little story about their school photos because I love them. And then I did a painting night with one of my friends last night. So I'm going to tell a story about that too. And then I have my like standard everyday stories that I'm going to be telling too this month. So any of the Halloween movies that we've watched, or spooky movies that we've watched, or I've watched, because my husband and I watched a horror movie which ruined my life for several days. And I'm not even exaggerating about that. So that happened. And I'm going to be telling a story about the books that I've read, because I have read a couple of little Halloween or spooky rom-com books so far. And let's see, what else did I have? So I think I might put the moon right here and then make one of these the little strips. Maybe I'll do the strips on the black side, because if I do see some through it, I think the black would look better than the blue. I think I'll do it like that too. So I can start it and end it with the leaves, and then have the pink stripe and the orange. And then that's pretty much all of the colors that will be in this side as well. So I do like the way that that's gonna look. I will also need some super thin score tape for this really tiny one. So let me just pull that out as well. We'll start with the big easy one though. I don't remember what I was saying before I actually started talking about my project again. So this will probably be a nice rambly video since it's taking so long. I'm already at an hour of recording time. So I'm not 100% sure how long this one will end up being, but I remember talking at the beginning of the month about how I would be doing probably the longer videos on weekends, and today is Saturday. So a perfect day for a long video, or at least to record a long video. And since I'm doing like, I'm not sure what the technical term for how I'm recording this is, but I always call them like live recordings, where I'm basically talking while I'm actually crafting. It's not a live video, but that's what I call it in my mind. Like, I don't know if that's correct, or if there even is a term for recording in this way. But yeah, so like a live voiceover recording situation is what I'm doing for these videos today. I've already got, I think, one video filmed. This will be my second video that I'm filming today. I talked a little bit in my first video about how I was wanting to, that's a little bit far from the edge there, but that's not something we're worrying about today. Oh gosh, I've got so many scraps and things all over. That's gonna go there. Okay. So we are going to start with this one. What was I saying? Oh, I'm doing a live recording. I don't know. If you know what the actual name of the way that this is going, let me know in the comments. So basically what I'm doing is I'm actually just talking while I'm filming myself. It's not going to be a live, unfortunately, because, whoops, that was too much. My computer is really loud. There's something wrong with one of my fans. So I don't have the ability to hook my camera up to it to actually go live, because I've been asking my husband to like look into that for me so that I can. I might have to try and figure out another way to go about it. But as of right now, it's not an option. Mostly because when my computer's on and it's making that like super high pitched humming noise that it makes when it's on, because my fan's all messed up, it makes me anxious. And I already know I'm going to be a little bit anxious going live in general. So I don't want to add anything to that to kind of make the experience bad for anybody. So since I am recording in this way, I tend to ramble a lot, obviously. But I think it slows down my crafting a little bit when I record this way. So I don't know. I would love to know your thoughts about this way of recording if you'd like to hear me chatter while I'm actually crafting. And then I'll just, you know, when I edit it, all I do essentially is add some music to the background and then fast forward anywhere where I'm not talking. So it makes editing super easy. But I also have a lot of blabber in the video that probably doesn't pertain to literally anything that I'm actually doing. And I often get sidetracked and forget what I'm talking about. So for these types of videos, I can't actually just stop recording myself doing a voiceover. I'm not able to do that and then figure out what the heck I was talking about before I got off on a tangent. So I don't know. I would love to know though what your thought process is, if you like videos where I'm just kind of talking while I'm crafting, or if you prefer me to do voiceovers. Honestly, I think I ramble a lot in both types of videos, but I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Also, this is probably, let me take a beat here. This is probably more what it would be like if I actually did go live, me being rambly and getting off topic. So you can let me know down below if you want to see me go live too. That way I can kind of add that to my list of things to continue working on to try and get fixed. So my thought process, because I've got two computers, I've got a desktop and a laptop, and I usually do a lot of my editing of my videos on my laptop instead of my desktop, because I can go like hide in a room to do a voiceover, whereas I can't really move the desktop to do anything like that. So I forgot what my point was. Oh, so I'm thinking I could probably maybe even just use my laptop to go live with. But I know that my desktop is a little bit better because I use that for gaming. So I know that that would be a little bit better functionality-wise. But I don't know. So I'm sure I could figure something out. I did request from YouTube, I think it was last week, to have access to go live, because apparently you have to request that. I did not know that that was a thing. So I requested access to go live. But I'm thinking it might be a fun way to work through these month-long projects too. If you're interested in hearing me ramble or even chatting with me about random crafty things or just life in general. I feel like I've been off on a tangent for a while now. Okay, so it's not gonna cover everything, but I think that that looks sufficient. I do like the black appearing through the little cracks on here as opposed to the blue. So I think that looks good. I also really like these two pages next to each other. Is that all of them? Did I do all of them? Oh, no, I've got one more. Okay. Okay, this paper is directional, so we want to make sure that I'm putting that the right way. But this should be the last one, and then I can start like placing a couple photos down at least. I'm going to have to show you all of these little liners for this tape that I've ripped off while I've been doing this, because it's a lot. They're just piled up over here to the side of me. I've got a little trash can like right back here. I like where it is, and it makes it super easy for actually, you know, getting rid of my trash. But when I use it while I'm recording, my hand is always just like this. So, oh, my battery's about to die. Maybe I can get this last one down here before that actually happens. Okay, hurry, hurry, hurry. so we got the last page here. The battery in my camera is quite literally about to die, so let's flip through this real quick, and then I will come back once this is charged, and we'll finish up this little booklet here. I think this might be my favorite page, and get a couple photos added so you can see how it's going to look. So that's my little playbill so far. So I will be back. You'll see me in like a second. Okay, we're back. It's the next day. So I sewed this together after my battery died. So it's kind of, for the bones of it is completed. So this is what it looks like. Which I'm loving. I have a couple of strips left over that I think I might like apply to some of the other papers. That way to just bring in all of the various patterns throughout. Stuff like that. So I'm going to keep those. I'm not going to toss them or anything. And I remember yesterday saying I was going to share just how many of these backers I have. And just there's so many. So let me grab my little trash can. I also went to Michael's and just got a freaking Michael's brand tape runner because I couldn't deal with the score tape anymore. So, I have 2 photos already printed out that I know I'm going to want to put in here. And I've got the journaling cards over here as well. I might just use these as like little layering pieces, like that would be fun, just to bring a little bit more of the October feel into it. I really like this picture of me and my friend, and I like it against this floral background, so I'm not sure if I want to do this on the first page or the last page. But I think I'm going to turn this one into like a little title page. So I will grab my stamps, and I'm going to use the Stanley alphabet for this as well, since we used it for story number 15. So just to kind of tie these together. And I think I'm just going to write out our first play, just like right here in the middle. And maybe I'll use up some of my embellishments on this, since I've not really been using a super lot of embellishments. Okay, so I've stamped out our first play and the date that the actual play took place, and then I ripped off some of the leftover strip that I had of this to just bring over here to tie these 2 pages together, and I really like the way that that looks, so I'm super pleased with that. And then I've got all of the embellishments for the actual Citrus Twist kit, because these papers, not this one, but the other ones that I used, are all part of the Citrus Twist kit. And while the play wasn't necessarily Halloween related, I am just going to use whatever fits in here because I need to get some of this used up. I really wanted to use this little cat in a previous spread, so I think I might stick that right down there. So I'm gonna add this little cat. And then I'm just going to put this little bat right above my title here. I feel like this photo would match best with the title because it was all of our first time at a play. So I'm going to put this right across from here. But I'm going to flip to the back here, because I do want this photo of me and my friend to be on this paper. And I really like, well, I did really like these being next to it, but since the paper over here is different, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put this the way that I was thinking for that other photo to bring that light teal color in over here. So I know previously I had talked, I think I did earlier in the video, I had talked about that the reason that that other tape roller is my favorite is because of the way it rolls. Though I could have just been talking to my husband about that last night. I'm not even 100% sure anymore, but that's why I like the normal tape runner that I use, because it doesn't have issues rolling. And I will say that this Recollections brand is the same. It rolls really smoothly until you get to the very end. I just don't like the shape of it. I don't like holding it in my hand. So that's where my problem is for that one. So here's the first 2 pages. And like I said, I'm only going to do the 2 photos that I actually can do on camera, because the other photos that I have include other people. So I've got this one of me and the kids, and I will add some little journaling here about how this was our first ever time to go to a play. And then eventually I'll probably add these ones on camera too, actually, and just fill in those little spaces. So this one will go over here. So let's go ahead and do that too. And this one over here. So let's just do that real quick. And then that way I can place this on both sides. So it really looks like those 2 are incorporated together. Oh, it's shut. We had taken pictures like with the cast, or with Beauty and the Beast of the cast, and then just a picture of all of us as a group, and then the kids together and stuff like that. So there's going to be quite a few photos in this particular album. It's just that some of these photos I don't think should be all over the internet, because they don't include, you know, my family specifically. So I don't want to put anybody else in that position. You would think I would know better than to actually apply the glue on top of my layout, but I always do that, and then I always get tape on whatever's underneath it. So that's why we've got glue eraser. I didn't trim off, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but I didn't trim off these little threads. I think I'm gonna leave them there. I think I like them. These two are already incorporated together because I've got these on this side. So that looks good. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. I don't know if I'm gonna put it on both sides though, or if I'm just gonna put it on one. We'll see. Because I actually do have some more of this that I can place over here. Which I think we want to go this way. And I can place that like right there on either side, and then have a little bit of the moon over here. And then we'll place my photo down. I generally hate fussy cutting things out, but we're gonna see if I like this. If I don't, I'm just gonna scrap it. But I really like this card. But this is thick paper, so I don't know if it's gonna cut out so well. Also, my scissors need to be cleaned from all that, actually. From all that score tape that I was cutting earlier. So they're not doing their best here. Okay. I'm gonna get this one adhered down. I'm gonna do this one at a little bit of an angle. And then we're gonna put that right there. I do want to have a little place for journaling. So maybe we can stick this like right in there. I don't want it to say October 31st because it's not October 31st. Since I cut off that title for this one, it felt a little bit odd. So I think this will kind of help keep that from feeling so odd. All right, I like that. This is not as straight as I would like it. I didn't realize there was so many little starbursts. So we're gonna add some of these. Okay. So, I need to add my story number, and I think I'm just going to put that right here. So, let's see. This is what it's looking like for this portion. So we've got that. I will add some of these additional journaling cards, I think, onto these once I figure out how I want my photos laid out. So I'm not going to be doing too much more of that on camera. Then I'm leaving the cast, production team, ensemble, and all that. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not messing with that at all. And then I've got these additional little spots in the back. So we did 2 of the little photo layouts, my title page, and then we just prepped the rest of the pages. So I'm gonna get this back in my album so you can kind of see how I'm planning to have this laid out, because this will rest right across from this story. So got my album here. And we're just gonna flip right to the back. So 15 is gonna go in here. And then this one, I'm actually going to be placing in a page protector. So we'll take this and we'll just stick that right inside the page protector. I had considered just attaching this onto like little page attachers, and I might still do that because I think that would be easier to flip. I also need to cover the back of this. So I don't know. Let's see. So that's how that's looking right now. So let me pull this back out so you're not blinded. But my 15 is going to be just overall about our trip to Savannah, Georgia, and then 16 is going to be all about the Beauty and the Beast play that we went to see. And we are already, my recording is already at like 1 hour and 45 minutes that I've spent on these 2. So I'm going to go ahead and just end the video right here. I would love to know your thoughts on these 2 spreads down in the comments below. And that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!